The European qualifiers for the 2026 FIFA World Cup are just a few months away, and we now know what the 12 qualifying groups will look like. With 6 groups of 4 teams and 6 groups of 5 teams, the stage is set for some incredible football to be played on the road to the biggest sporting event on the planet. Today, we're ranking all 54 teams in the European qualifiers to see who has the best chance of making it to the World Cup and who will have to put up a strong fight in order to make the tournament. We're taking into consideration the results of their Nations League performances, the qualifying group they find themselves in, and the possibility of qualification through the playoff route. 2025 will be a crucial year for the success of each European nation, so let's start ranking them. Since we have so many teams to rank, let's quickly breeze through the F tier and the D tier to see which nations have little to no chance of making it to the World Cup. The first 5 teams in the F tier are Andorra, Belarus, Cyprus, Faroe Islands, and Gibraltar. None of these nations have ever qualified for the World Cup, and while it would be great to see them make it one day, 2026 won't see any of them make their debut. The same goes for Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Malta, Moldova, and San Marino, who make up the rest of the F tier. It's hard to see any of these sides doing even close to enough to qualify for the World Cup, and it will be a rough qualifying round for these sides. It would be great to see any of these sides pull off an upset, but they go into the F tier today. The D tier is a bit more competitive, with the first 5 teams being Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Estonia, and Finland. Out of these 5 sides, Bulgaria is the only nation that has ever qualified for the World Cup, achieving an incredible 4th place finish in 1994. However, their glory days are long behind them, and considering how strong Group E looks, their odds are very slim. And for the other 4 nations, it would take a monstrous effort for them to make it all the way to the World Cup, given their recent Nations League performances. The next 5 teams in the D tier are Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Latvia, Lithuania, and Montenegro. Neither one of these teams has ever qualified for the World Cup as independent nations, and I'd be very surprised if that streak ends in 2026. Kosovo are the only side who didn't finish last in their Nations League group, and considering how competitive Group B will be, things aren't looking too positive for them. These 10 teams can only hope to make it through the qualifiers, and they go into the D tier for now. Starting our in-depth look into the rest of the teams, the first 5 teams in the C tier are Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Hungary, Iceland, and Israel. Albania will be looking to use their momentum from Euro 2024 to qualify for the next major tournament. However, considering they finished last in their Nations League group and managed just 7 points, that may be a lot to ask for them. They also find themselves in a tough Group K alongside England, Serbia, Latvia, and Andorra. They will have to play at their absolute best for all 10 matches if they want to make it all the way, as the playoff route won't be a possibility for them. For Bosnia and Herzegovina, it will be truly an achievement if they can qualify for the World Cup, but it's not impossible. They didn't register a single win in their Nations League group, but considering the strength of their opposition, that isn't the worst thing in the world. They will face Austria, Romania, Cyprus, and San Marino in what will be a thrilling Group H, and they will have to play at their absolute best if they want to advance. When it comes to Hungary, they will be looking to qualify for their first World Cup in 40 years. They didn't have the best showing at Euro 2024 or in the 6 games they played in the Nations League, but 2026 could be their redemption tournament. Their qualifying group will be a big challenge as they face either Denmark or Portugal, the Republic of Ireland, and Armenia. It will be up to Dominik Szoboszlai to lead this team to glory, and the sky truly is the limit for this Hungarian side. When it comes to Iceland, they will be looking to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 2018 and the second time in their history. While they missed out on Euro 2024 and had a relatively lackluster Nations League campaign, there is still some hope for the island nation. They find themselves in Group D alongside Croatia, France, Ukraine, and Azerbaijan, and they could definitely be a dark horse that may surprise many people. Next up is Israel, who will be looking to make it to the World Cup for the first time since 1970. They had a tough time in their Nations League group, but they will be looking to use their draw against France and their win over Belgium as motivation to go all the way. Their qualifying group will make it easy for them as they will face either Italy or Germany, Norway, Estonia, and Moldova. While I don't see them getting the better of the bigger European nations, I wouldn't count them out just yet. The next 5 teams in the C tier are North Macedonia, Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, Scotland, and Slovenia. North Macedonia came ever so close to qualifying for their first ever World Cup in 2022, and they will be trying to make amends for that in 2026. They had a great Nations League campaign, putting up 5 wins and only conceding once with a +9 goal differential. They find themselves in Group J alongside Belgium, Wales, Kazakhstan, and Liechtenstein, which will be a good test to see what they're made of. Considering they topped their Nations League group, they could qualify via the playoff route and surprise many people along the way. For Northern Ireland, they will be looking to qualify for the tournament for the first time since 1986. They put up a solid showing in their Nations League run, coming away with 3 wins and 11 points, scoring 11 goals and conceding 3 along the way. They find themselves in Group A alongside either Italy or Germany, Slovakia, and Luxembourg, which isn't the worst group that they could have been drawn in. Keep an eye out on this team as they could be a dark horse as well. Next up is the Republic of Ireland, who will try to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 2002 when they made it all the way to the round of 16. The Irish side didn't have a great Nations League campaign, getting just 2 wins against Finland and conceding 12 goals in 6 6 matches. They have a big task ahead of them in Group F as they'll be facing Denmark or Portugal, Hungary, and Armenia. The odds are stacked against them and they'll need their signature luck of the Irish if they want to make it all the way. Next up is Scotland, who will try to make it to the World Cup for the first time since 1998. The Scottish side had a pretty miserable time at Euro 2024, but they did somewhat better in their Nations League group, grabbing 2 wins and 7 points along the way. They find themselves in Group C alongside Denmark or Portugal, Greece, and Belarus, which will make for some entertaining football for Scottish and neutral fans alike. And last but not least is Slovenia, who will be looking to make it to the World Cup for the first time since 2010. Slovenia have an up-and-coming team who introduced themselves to the world at Euro 2024, and they put up some solid performances in their Nations League group as well. They've been drawn into one of the most exciting groups alongside Switzerland, Sweden, and Kosovo, and they have another chance to prove to us what they're made of. Most of the responsibility will lie on the shoulders of 21-year-old Benjamin Šeško, and this could be a chance for him to shine on the big stage. These 10 teams will have to truly earn their spot at the World Cup as they go into the C tier today. Moving on to the B tier, the first 5 teams are Czechia, Georgia, Greece, Poland, and Serbia. The Czechs weren't able to make an impact at Euro 2024, but they made up for it by topping their Nations League group with 3 wins and 11 points, scoring 9 goals along the way. They now find themselves in Group L alongside either Croatia or France, Montenegro, Faroe Islands, and Gibraltar. They can easily manage wins against the bottom 3 teams, and even if they don't top their group, they could get in through the playoff route if worst comes to worst. I have some faith in this entertaining Czech side, and now it's up to them to prove me right or wrong. When it comes to Georgia, they have never qualified for the World Cup as an independent nation, but 2026 will be the best chance they've had in many years. They impressed us all at Euro 2024 as they made their mark on the international scene, but their Nations League performances left a lot to be desired. They have the potential to shock a lot of people as they join either the Netherlands or Spain, Turkey, and Bulgaria in what is sure to be a thrilling Group E. They will be led by their superstar player Vica Kvaratskhelia, and I'm excited to see how far the side can go. Next up is Greece, who will be looking to make it back to the World Cup for the first time since 2014. They weren't able to qualify for Euro 2024, but they managed to get 5 wins in their Nations League campaign, including a historic 2-1 win over England at Wembley. They will now go up against either Denmark or Portugal, Scotland, and Belarus in a group in Group C, and if they can play up to their standards, they could go on to top the group. Next up is Poland, who will try to qualify for their 3rd straight World Cup in 2026. While they weren't able to manage a win at Euro 2024 and finish bottom of their Nations League group, this side has too much talent to be throwing it all away. They find themselves in Group G alongside either the Netherlands or Spain, Finland, Lithuania, and Malta, and this group will be exactly what the Polish squad would have hoped for. With Robert Lewandowski getting older in age and nearing the twilight of his career, it is truly now or never for Poland. Next up is Serbia, who will also be looking to make it to their 3rd straight World Cup in 2026. Euro 2024 was not a good tournament for the Serbian side, and their Nations League run wasn't much better, finishing with just 3 goals scored and 6 points altogether. They now find themselves in a very competitive Group K alongside England, Albania, Latvia, and Andorra. Serbia have a great side on paper, and if they can just make the chemistry work, they have a chance at making the World Cup. The final 5 teams in the B tier are Slovakia, Switzerland, Turkey, Ukraine, and Wales. Slovakia had a decent run at Euro 2024, but they really played to their strengths in the Nations League, winning 4 games and scoring 10 goals. They will play either Italy or Germany, Northern Ireland, and Luxembourg in Group A, and it will take a mega effort to get to the top of that group. Slovakia truly are a what-if side in these qualifiers, but I wouldn't count them out just yet. Next up are Switzerland, who will be looking to make it to their 6th straight World Cup in 2026. Euro 2024 was a great tournament for the Swiss side, but the Nations League was a truly humbling experience as they failed to win a single game and conceded 14 goals along the way. They now find themselves in a thrilling Group B alongside Sweden, Slovenia, and Kosovo. If they want to make it to 2026, they will have to top their qualifying group and impress us all along the way. Next up are Turkey, who will try to qualify for their first World Cup since 2002 when they finished in 3rd place, their biggest triumph to date. Euro 2024 was a great tournament for the Turkish side, and they continued their momentum in the Nations League as they won 3 of their 6 matches. They will be going up against either the Netherlands or Spain, Georgia, and Bulgaria in Group E, and this is their chance to show the world what they're made of. This could be the best chance for 19-year-old Arda Güler to cement his name as one of Europe's best young talents, and only time will tell how far this Turkish side can go. Next up is Ukraine, who will be looking to qualify for the first time since 2006 when they made an incredible run to the quarterfinals. Euro 2024 wasn't a great tournament for the Ukrainians, but with 8 points and a 2nd place finish in their Nations League group, things are looking up for this side. They will be facing either Croatia or France, Iceland, and Azerbaijan in Group D, and they will have to play at their absolute best if they want to top their group and achieve qualification. To round out the B tier, we have Wales, who will be looking to make it back-to-back World Cup appearances in 2026. They failed to qualify for Euro 2024, but with 3 wins and 12 points in their Nations League group, the Welsh side have some real momentum at the moment. They find themselves in Group J alongside Belgium, North Macedonia, Kazakhstan, and Liechtenstein, and qualification through the playoff route isn't totally impossible for this side. These 10 sides have a realistic shot at qualifying for the World Cup as they find themselves in the B tier today. Moving on to the A tier, the first 5 teams are Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Norway, and Romania. Austria had a very impressive run at Euro 2024, and they continued their momentum in the Nations League with 3 wins and 11 points while scoring 14 goals. They now find themselves in an intriguing Group H alongside Romania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Cyprus, Cyprus, and San Marino, which should be a good test for this side. They will have to top the group in order to qualify, but with Ralf Rangnick in charge of the side, that isn't too far off from realistically happening. Next up are Belgium, who will be looking to qualify for the World Cup for their 4th consecutive time. Belgium had a truly disappointing Euro 2024 run, and their Nations League run wasn't much better, winning just 1 game and managing just 4 points. Even though their golden generation is long gone, they will be going up against Wales, North Macedonia, Kazakhstan, and Liechtenstein in Group J, a truly easy group for them. Whether they top the group or make it through the playoff round, it would be a massive disappointment if Belgium don't qualify for 2026. Next up on the list is Denmark, who will be looking to make a 3rd straight World Cup appearance. Denmark had a decent campaign at Euro 2024 and improved on their performances in the Nations League, grabbing 2 wins and finishing 2nd in their group. They will now play another Group C or Group F depending on their Nations League quarterfinal result. There are many uncertainties surrounding their qualifying campaign, but they have the talent to make it through if they play to their strengths. Next on the list are Norway, who will try to make it back to the World Cup for the first time since 1998 when they made it to the round of 16. While they did miss out on Euro 2024, they were excellent in their Nations League group as they managed 4 wins and got 13 points along the way. They will now go up against either Italy or Germany, Israel, Estonia, and Moldova, and they have a solid chance against all of those sides. It will be up to Erling Haaland to carry this team to the promised land, and it would be a shame if his side wastes such a golden opportunity. Next up is Romania, who will be looking to book their ticket to their first World Cup since 1998 when they made it to the round of 16. Romania had a very strong run at Euro 2024, and they were the only team in the whole Nations League to win all of the matches they played in, scoring 18 goals along the way. They have a big task ahead of them in Group H as they face Austria, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Cyprus, and San Marino. This is Romania's best chance to make it to the World Cup in nearly 3 decades, and now is the time to show the world what they're made of. The last team to make it into the A tier is Sweden. Another side that missed out on Euro 2024 but clutched up in their Nations League, Sweden topped their group with 5 wins, scoring 19 goals along the way. They find themselves in an intriguing Group B alongside Switzerland, Slovenia, and Kosovo and have a real shot at making it to the top. It will be up to Golden Boy Viktor Gyökeres to lead Sweden back to the World Cup, and they have a real shot at making it in 2026. There is a strong chance that these 6 sides make it to the World Cup and they go into the A tier today. To finish up this ranking, the first 4 teams in the S tier are Croatia, England, France, and Germany. There isn't much need to do a deep dive on any of these 4 teams as we know they're almost certain of a spot at the next World Cup. Croatia, France, and Germany will have to wait until March to see which group they will play in after the Nations League quarterfinal. But regardless of that result, they should be the strongest team in their respective groups. England know for sure that they will be in Group K alongside Serbia, Albania, Latvia, and Andorra, where they are without a doubt the favorites to top their group. France and Germany are assured of a playoff spot regardless of what happens in their group, but it is very unlikely that they will need to go through the playoffs to qualify. Croatia are the only side who might have some resistance as they had a very poor Euro 2024 campaign and only managed 2 wins in their Nations League group. But even then, they are still a great side who still have a lot to prove on the big stage. The final 4 teams in the S tier are Italy, the Netherlands, Portugal, and Spain. These 4 sides will also have to wait until March to see which group they will fall into, but they should have no problems getting maximum points in the qualifiers. Portugal and Spain are also guaranteed to get a playoff spot in their worst case scenario, but it would take a massive shock to get there. Italy will be looking for redemption after missing out on the last 2 World Cups, while the Netherlands will try their best to win the trophy that has eluded them for so many years. These 8 nations are some of the best in the European qualifiers, and they sit at the top of this ranking in the S tier today. So there you have it, we've ranked all 54 teams in the European qualifiers for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. There is so much to talk about for each one of these sides, but the players will do the talking on the pitch when the qualifiers start in March of 2025. You never really know what to expect when it comes to these qualifying matches, and there's plenty of shock results in store for us fans. Some sides may qualify for the first time, other sides might miss out altogether, and who knows, maybe some favorites will encounter some bad luck as well. With 16 spots at the 2026 FIFA World Cup on the line, the European qualifiers are sure to bring the excitement. But what did you think of my ranking for the European qualifiers for the 2026 FIFA World Cup? Which sides do you think are ranked too high, which sides are too low, and which sides are right where they belong? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as well as which side you'll be supporting next year. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more football content, tier lists, and everything in between, and as always, I'll catch you next time.